Sylvester Stallone, one of the most iconic figures in global cinema, has won the hearts of millions of fans over the decades. His roles as Rocky Balboa and John Rambo have become synonymous with strength, courage, and resilience, but his story goes far beyond the screen. It's a life journey filled with challenges, emotional twists, and surprising moments that reveal the true humanity behind the Hollywood star. What many don't know is that before conquering the spotlight, Stallone faced tremendous hardships. His childhood was not easy. He was born on July 6, 1946, in New York, at a time when the world was undergoing profound social changes. However, Sylvester did not have a traditional start in life. During birth, a complication left part of his face paralyzed. The unique expression that resulted from this incident made him a target for bullying, but it also became the origin of his fierce determination to overcome any obstacle. Those early years, filled with emotional challenges, shaped Stallone in a way he could never have predicted. Despite being ridiculed for his appearance and speech difficulties, he never let himself be defeated. Instead, he used these adversities as fuel for his future rise. Sylvester Stallone always knew he wanted to be an actor. Since childhood, he had admired films and dreamed of one day being on those giant screens. But the reality of Hollywood was far different from the fantasy he had created in his mind. He was a man with a distinctive face, a facial paralysis that gave him a rigid appearance and a hoarse voice. This factor made him seem a bit different from other potential actors, and he quickly realized that the film industry had no place for someone like him. At least, that was what he believed at the start. In the early years of his career, Stallone faced constant rejection. He was passed over for roles that seemed perfect for him, and instead of opportunities, he was met with closed doors. Each no felt like a victory for the studios and a personal defeat for him. But young Stallone was unwilling to give up. He knew that his dream could not be limited by the narrow vision of the industry. He believed that if he could create something unique, something true and genuine, he could carve out his place. But he had to create more than just a performance. He needed a character that would represent his own struggle and triumph. It was then, in a moment of deep anguish, that Stallone had a revolutionary idea. He wrote the script for Rocky, a film that would not only tell the story of a boxer, but also reflect his own life. A man fighting against all odds, determined to achieve something greater, even when the world seemed to turn its back. But writing the script wasn't enough. For Stallone, this project was personal. He knew that if he didn't play the lead role of Rocky Balboa, the entire meaning of the story would be lost. However, the industry wasn't ready to accept his vision. The studios, so used to established stars and big names in cinema, didn't see potential in Stallone. They offered him large sums of money to sell the script and let another actor take the lead role. The offer was tempting, and in a moment of financial desperation, it might have been the solution to his immediate problems. But Stallone knew that if he gave in to the temptation of money, he would be sacrificing not just the role of Rocky, but the very soul of the project. He refused the offers, even knowing that his bank account was rapidly dwindling. This decision cost Stallone dearly. 4 weeks, he slept on the couch of his small New York apartment, with no money and unsure of how he would pay his bills. But he believed in his vision. He believed the world needed to see Rocky, and that the world needed to see his fight. Stallone's persistence was finally rewarded when the studios, reluctant, agreed to give him the chance to play the role. He not only wrote the script, but was also cast as the protagonist, a huge risk for everyone involved. And that's how Rocky was born. The story of a humble boxer who fights to achieve his dream touched the souls of people around the world. The audience saw in Rocky the same determination, the same struggles that Stallone had lived. He wasn't just playing a character, he was sharing his own journey. Rocky wasn't just a movie about boxing, it was about overcoming. It was the story of anyone who had a dream but felt helpless, overlooked, or hopeless. It was a cry that, despite everything, it's possible to win. When Rocky was released, the impact was immediate. Not only was it a commercial success, but it also became a milestone in film history. Stallone not only became a global star, but the film also won 3 Oscars, including Best Picture. The character of Rocky Balboa, with his humility, hard work, and big heart, became a symbol of perseverance. Stallone's story, how he fought against adversity, and never gave up on his dream, was told in every scene, in every punch Rocky threw in the ring. The success of Rocky was the result of years of suffering, rejection, and hard work. Stallone not only became a Hollywood star but proved to himself and the world that his vision was worth it. His triumph was far more than a professional victory. It was a personal victory, a monumental twist of fate for someone who, despite the hardships and obstacles, never stopped fighting. He didn't limit himself to being just another actor in Hollywood. Stallone became a living proof that true success comes from overcoming your own limitations and the courage to keep moving forward when all signs point to failure. By creating Rocky Balboa, he not only found his voice as an artist but also found his place in the world. The character of Rocky didn't just resonate with fans, it became a universal symbol of hope and struggle. Sylvester Stallone's journey was marked by the overcoming of the greatest adversities, and the legacy of Rocky proves that inner strength can transform anyone's life. And so, with his persistence and determination, Stallone became not only a cinema star but a global icon who inspired millions to never give up on their dreams, no matter how difficult the road ahead might seem. As the years passed, Stallone continued to grow, not just as an actor, but as a human being. Fame brought with it many temptations and challenges, but he always stayed true to his principles. He had to deal with the pressure of being constantly watched by the media, especially after the massive premieres of Rocky and Rambo. His success also brought a series of criticisms and challenges that tested his integrity. One of the most moving stories of his life happened during the filming of Rocky III, when Stallone was at the peak of his career. The film was a huge production, but the actor was dealing with emotional and personal difficulties. He was going through a series of losses in his life, and even though he was being applauded worldwide, loneliness surrounded him. In an unexpected moment of his life, he shared with the public something few knew: the insecurities and internal struggles that had accompanied him throughout his career. He revealed, in an intimate interview, how the constant pressure to be perfect, to be the hero, the symbol of strength, led him to moments of despair. The public was moved to realize that, behind his muscular physique and imposing performances, there was a person with the same doubts and fears that any human being faces. However, it was his ability to reinvent himself and stay true to his values that kept him relevant. He used his own struggles to create even deeper and more complex characters. In Rocky Balboa, the audience witnessed the fight of an older man trying to deal with the issues of aging, loss, and the search for purpose. It was a personal story, a reflection of Stallone's own battles, and it touched the hearts of millions. Sylvester Stallone, with his tough guy image, had always been admired for his physical and mental strength on the silver screen, but the greatest moment of humanity he had came during a controversial interview that captured the attention of the public worldwide. This episode, which went viral, showed not only his ability to deal with external pressures, but also the wisdom he had acquired over the years, facing life's adversities, both on screen and off. It was a press day to promote the release of one of his most recent films, another action-packed movie, of course, where he once again portrayed the unbeatable hero. As always, he was surrounded by reporters eager to ask their questions, expecting revealing or even controversial answers. But, amid the sea of trivial questions, one reporter stood out for his lack of tact. With a serious expression, the reporter asked a question that left everyone in the room in uncomfortable silence. "Stallone, aren't you getting too old to make action movies? Wouldn't it be better to make room for new talents?" The room froze. The words hung in the air, and all eyes turned to Stallone. It was a tense moment, where many expected an explosive reaction or at least a brusque departure from the star. After all, who likes to be reminded of their age, especially someone who had built an entire career with intense action roles? What happened next, however, surprised and delighted everyone present. Stallone, instead of responding with anger or aggressively defending himself, simply smiled. A genuine, relaxed laugh, as if such a question was nothing more than a light-hearted provocation. He then grabbed the microphone and, with a calm look, responded with serene confidence. "Well, if I seem too old, then you better get ready because I'm just getting started. And I'll tell you, age is nothing, what matters is the spirit." The audience, initially tense, began to laugh along with him, relieved by the way Stallone had defused the situation with grace. He continued, keeping the tone light and witty, as if in a casual conversation. "Look, I'm like a real Rocky. You might see me throwing a few slower punches, but the fight goes on." The room erupted in laughter, with some reporters even applauding. In just a few seconds, Stallone had turned an uncomfortable situation into a memorable moment. Not only did he respond to the criticism in a relaxed manner, but he also made a powerful and confident statement, challenging the very concept of age and social expectations. The impact of this response went beyond just relieving the tension in the moment. What Stallone did there was a brilliant example of how to react with class, humor, and dignity in the face of unjust criticism. He turned the attack into an opportunity to teach a valuable lesson on how to face life's challenges with resilience and a positive spirit, regardless of age or circumstances. His response disarmed the reporter and, in a way, made everyone in the room feel closer to him, as if they were sharing a conversation with a friend. That response wasn't just a reflection of the Stallone we see on screen, the unbeatable hero. It was the true essence of his personality, a man who, despite all his success, never lost his sense of humor or humanity. Stallone didn't let an unnecessary criticism affect him. He used the situation to show his inner strength, his experience, and his ability to keep fighting, not just in movies, but in real life. It's important to remember that, like any famous person, Stallone faced his share of challenges over the years. Criticism, especially when related to appearance or age, is often inevitable. However, what Stallone did in that moment was show that true strength doesn't come only from physical appearance or youth, but from mentality and perseverance. He had overcome so many adversities throughout his life and career, rejections in Hollywood, financial struggles, and personal challenges, that this critique was nothing compared to the obstacles he had already faced. His response was a reminder that age, although inevitable, doesn't define who we are or what we are capable of achieving. And for those who still doubted his ability to continue in style, Stallone was more determined than ever to show that he was not only at the peak of his career, but that, in a way, every year he reinvented himself, challenging the limits of what the world thought he could do. The character of Rocky Balboa had always represented overcoming obstacles, and in that moment, Stallone, unexpectedly, became a real Rocky, fighting against cliches and proving that the most important battle is the one we fight within ourselves. An Xer, busker, refleater. This moment became one of the most iconic of his career, not because he said something surprising, but because he once again demonstrated his true character, the ability to remain unshaken by difficulties, to stay strong, and above all, to maintain a good sense of humor, even when confronted with a tasteless question. This captivating response was not just about facing criticism, but about embracing life with the same courage, humor, and optimism that his characters on screen displayed. At that moment, Stallone was not just an action movie actor. He was a leader, an example of how it's possible to handle life positively even when circumstances try to bring us down. He showed that true strength is not in the physical body, but in the attitude. With that response, he became a true symbol of perseverance, and this life lesson undoubtedly resonated in the hearts of all who watched. Sylvester Stallone, best known for his iconic roles as Rocky Balboa and John Rambo, is not just a successful actor but a true legend who transcends the silver screen. His life journey is not only a tale of rising to fame but also a powerful testimony of perseverance, courage, and authenticity. He is undoubtedly a symbol of how overcoming adversity can shape someone to become more than just a public figure, a global inspiration. From his early days in New York, Stallone faced challenges that could have easily destroyed his spirit. Born with speech difficulties and facial paralysis, he was seen by many as someone incapable of succeeding, especially in an industry where physical appearance and verbal eloquence are often crucial for a career. But instead of yielding to these limitations, Stallone rose up and made adversity his ally. He knew his voice could be a weakness, but it could also be his greatest strength if he knew how to use it in a unique way. When he moved to Hollywood, he was met with closed doors. Rejected countless times, Stallone could have given up. He could have taken an easier path. But the flame he carried inside never went out. Instead, he took what the industry saw as a limitation and turned it into motivation to create something unique. His greatest achievement, the character of Rocky Balboa, is the very personification of his vision. Rocky was not the perfect hero. He was imperfect, flawed, but with a huge heart and unwavering determination. And in the same way, Stallone became the symbol of overcoming obstacles that many sought. The success of Rocky did not come easily, but the story of the film, like Stallone's own, is about resilience. The moment he achieved the impossible, insisting on playing the lead role, even when the studios wanted to cast a bigger star, Stallone taught the world a lesson. When you believe in something with all your being, even when no one else believes, persistence pays off. The success of Rocky not only changed Stallone's career, but also gave the world a character that remains timeless, a model of courage, humility, and fight. However, Stallone wasn't just known for his heroic roles. He went beyond that and established himself as an example of humanity, and this became clear when he responded with humor and intelligence to insensitive questions about his age and appearance. In one interview, a reporter questioned his ability to continue making action movies, suggesting he was too old for such roles. What could have been an aggressive confrontation turned into a captivating response that reflected the true essence of Stallone. He not only defused the situation with his witty reply, but also showed the world that, although the body ages, the spirit never loses its strength. He continued to inspire and motivate people around the world to keep fighting, regardless of the circumstances. Stallone, with his authentic laugh and usual humility, has always been able to laugh at himself. This simple, honest humor became one of his greatest traits, a quality that allowed him to deeply connect with his fans and colleagues. He wasn't just the indomitable hero we see in movies. He was also an ordinary man who, like anyone else, faces his own challenges and insecurities, but does his best to overcome them with grace and dignity. The fact that he continues to be such a beloved figure, not just for his roles, but for the person he is, reflects the authenticity he conveys in every aspect of his life. Today, Stallone is respected by colleagues in the film industry and admired by a legion of fans worldwide. He is not just a cinema icon, but a true symbol of perseverance. His journey teaches us that success doesn't come only from external victories, but from the inner strength to never give up, to keep pursuing our dreams even when the world seems against us. He is an inspiration for all who face difficulties, for those who fall and get up repeatedly without ever stopping believing in themselves. Stallone's impact on cinema and popular culture is immeasurable. Movies like Rocky, Rambo, and even The Expendables are just some of the milestones in his career, but the legacy he has left goes far beyond the box office. His characters are not just known for their action scenes, but for the emotional depth and internal struggles they represent. He has been a mirror for many who, like his characters, fight every day against adversities, difficulties, and criticism. Throughout his career, Stallone has shown that true strength is not in appearance or physicality, but in the ability to resist, to stay true to one's principles, and to keep fighting, no matter the obstacles. Over the years, Stallone has continued to be a beacon of hope and inspiration for millions. He has never forgotten his humble beginnings and all the struggles he faced to get where he is. Even at the peak of his career, he never missed an opportunity to thank his fans and colleagues, always with the humility that defines him. He is someone who, despite all his victories and global recognition, has never lost touch with what truly matters: the power of hard work, perseverance, and good humor. If you were moved by the story of Sylvester Stallone and want to discover more about the defining moments in the lives of other celebrities, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Keep following our videos for inspiration from stories of overcoming, humanity, and resilience. Leave a comment and a like so that these messages of strength and hope can reach every corner of the world. Together, we can spread the legacy of Stallone and other figures who, like him, make a difference in the world.